Hello there guys, and welcome to GRL Season 3 for GP2 at round 15 here at the beloved Marina Bay Circuit at Singapore. We have 12 drivers ready for Q2, because obviously we don't have enough numbers for Q1, but that's besides the point. This is his field 17 and I'm alongside with Brandon.
Hello.
Today. I think we're kind of looking forward for GP2. We could possibly see some very unique strategies, but I think we'll find out within the dire moments of the session.
So, Discreet is out first. On the hypers. A lot of people have different strategies, isn't it? 4 on soft, 5 on ultras, and we've got 3 on hypers.
Interested.
It's pretty evenly split.
It's either that or the people on the hypersofts are doing a banker lap on the hypers. Who knows? Whereas the soft tyre runners, they're planning on going for the long run.
As the Scooty's getting cut the corners away from starting his flying lap.
Just a bit of a heads up for people who are kind of new, especially for the GRL Racing League stream. We did recently stream GP3 where shenanigans happened, really. I think we had like a minor power cut in the 9 minutes of the race. And also GP 1.1 is also... The GP 1.1 stream is also on this channel. That was that Friday, where there was some controversy.
Was there?
In the opening 6 laps.
Clearly it wasn't me involved, but...
Well, I'm not going to say it was the low profile. But anyway, that's besides the point. So anyway, Discreetly is now going out of the old Singapore Sling section. It's perilously close onto the pillar of the Anderson Bridge. Obviously, some of the drivers that I want to watch are Paraquix, Pal, and Lovely Colt. Paraquix, after having a massive, after having a horrendous race at Monza, is hoping to bounce back for this week's race here at Singapore. Meanwhile, Lovely Colt is hoping to strive once again after that exciting and brilliant performance from Colt at Monza as well. Meanwhile, Chill is also hoping to go for another podium as well, where for the Williams team, whereas Top Gunner is hoping to get into the points alongside with his teammate.
I think Lone Colt's the one to watch, as he was competing yesterday.
I'd say that there's a mixed batch of people to watch. Anyway, Discreetly starts off with his banker lap of 1:38.7.
Pal goes second.
Pal's done a
1:39.2. And the softs.
Then we've got Para. It was done a 1:42.0, but it was invalid. So we'll go on to Manzi.
Crosses the line. That's a
1:40.8. Smithy with
1:40.8. As Horn crosses the line.
Horn
has
started his flyer. And Manzi is gone.
Michelle crosses the line. Gets a 1:45.2, but it was invalidated.
Very unfortunate from Chill there. I think that was he was hoping for that one to be a banker lap. He's kind of made a mistake.
Superb Cam is next across the line. We're in the last corners.
Their maximum attack
On
was
36.8. Very good lap. I think he'll be very
Stop
much
lap from
comfortable
Superb Cam
into
there.
Q3. You might be happy with that.
That's one other thing. Because Manzi has crashed out and not saved a lap, that means he is knocked out. So there's only one person will be knocked out. After the calamity that Manzi had. Anyway, Paraquix.
One's gone very deep into the chicane.
Oh, Paraquix has actually lost a lot of time. He's done a 1:38.0. So he was planning on doing that for a banker lap. So we go to Horn.
Oh, that might be invalidated. It was.
39.5, and it was.
Going to the very limits of the track limits. Just caught him out.
While Chill. 1:39.3. Only a tenth behind, pal.
And lovely Colt is decided to do 2 banker laps. He's going to... Oh, he might have validated it. He's gone well wide.
Oh, that was understeer there.
He might have to ditch these soft tires and go on to norms. The more laps he does, it's going to affect him in the race.
Scratcho is now on his out lap. And letting lovely Colt through.
Orn's 3 attempts up on his own time. And at the end of set 2.
3 tenths up. Also, for obviously, people are kind of living under a rock. We are also answering some of your questions. Just feel free to message Brandon. Message Brandon's gamer tag, and we'll try and answer the questions as best as we can. Without getting too technical.
Horn goes a bit deep on the chicane and he backs out. He's going into the pits. Trying to hit the wall pit on. Try not to hit the wall.
So goes with Smithy. Smithy has now gone into the pits as well. Come on, lovely Colt. Now coming on to the more technical section of the third sector. Now coming on to the grandstand section, which allows it as much track as you can.
Sweeps the car in the last couple of corners, perfectly well placed.
There's a 1:38.6.
That's a very good lap on the soft tire. Mixing up with
Very good strong lap there.
the ultras.
Yeah. Right, now Dutch.
So 4 drivers hasn't set a time yet, but they've got 5 minutes left of the session remaining.
5 minutes left of the session.
As Kosher is now coming out on the set of softs.
Whereas Paraquix is now out on a set of ultras. Meanwhile, Discreetly is still staying into the pits.
And Dutch Nacho has cut the corner and has invalidated his lap, so he is backed out. He might go again, or we might be setting a new set of tyres on.
I don't normally know that really for this track, because sometimes it gets a little bit complicated.
Horn comes
why,
out
but it does.
on a set of Hypers. That's very unusual.
Good luck with
He's
that.
going. It's doable. The one stop of hypers.
No.
I
That
did it
means you have to
yesterday.
do 25. You have to do like 25 laps.
I pitted on lap 4 and got to the end.
Okay, shush. Ignore me. Ignore me!
I think it's like high 50s, low 60s at my wells. It could be doable.
Alright, I get it. Alright! Just ignore me.
But it's very risky though.
Of course it's obviously risky. Aeroquicks has now started his flying lap on the Ultra Softs. Meanwhile, Dutch Nacho is also started his flying lap
on the softs as well.
on the Ultra Softs as well.
Kosher run turn 1. It's the apex. Neat turn 1, 2 and 3 for Kosher. And we'll run down to turn 4 and 5. Backs up the DRS and on the run down to turn 6. The apex, turn 7. Little brush to the wall, a bit wide from Kosher. Cost him a couple of attempts.
Dutch Nacho has let Para through.
It's the airpin. Good exit. No wheel spin. Decent second sector time.
Trying to minimalise it as hard as possible. Oh.
He's
Just
around
third as
the grandstand.
Paraquicks. Was a 136.814.
In the
Dutch
apex.
Nacho's going to be doing his lap again.
A little bit of wheel spin on the rears for Kosher. That's coming in the last 2 corners. And he gets a 138.8.
8.
Which will probably see him into Q3.
Lovely Colt is now on his out lap.
Or that might be invalidated. Touch you in
Tied
the-
into the pit, so he knows that he's guaranteed safety. Top Gunner is destined to try
So he's got to go again. This is invalidated
set
it.
time.
One more lap to do.
As Chill has retired. It's 137.8. Put him into
It's Horn coming
Q3.
around the last 2 corners. Horn crosses the line. And goes sit for
139.1.
That's going to put him through. As Chill has retired. The Chill might be in trouble here.
Could that possibly be a bad move? Because Smithy is on his out lap. Dutch Nacho is pushing his car to try and set a lap. As he gets wheel spin. And he gets very wide. 139.9.
I think Smithy might have missed this. He's going to be very tight to the line. Well, he's timed it right. He's going to just hit it,
I
or
think
just
Smith-
miss
I
it.
think Smith isn't too late. I think Smith is too late.
He's cutting the corner. That might invalidate. He knows it. He's not going to make it.
Nope, not going to make it.
Smithy.
So that
Does
does
down to
mean
top gear up.
Dutch Nacho has backed off.
Top Gunners come around the last two corners. Can he knock Dutch Snatcher into the drop zone? Goes to the very limit. And he does. 1:37.8.
And he does. Knocks out Dutch.
And Dutch is down by 9.5 seconds to that. So Smithy's got away with it.
Just. While F1 Pal is the last driver be on the track.
All
Do have
Horns up
do
for the
have
Vipers.
we do have 2 hyper soft runners and 3 ultra soft runners. The rest on the softs for the top 10.
So they'll be getting very early in the Grand Prix.
As Pal has now gone into the pits. Oh no, I think I might have made a slight error. It's only 1 that's on the hyper softs, and that's Horn. And it's 2 laps old.
You got to add
Sure,
the
that's-
outlap and inlap as well, haven't you?
I think so.
That's
That's
right.
not good.
So he's only going to manage like probably max 1-2 laps, maybe 3. He has to pit.
Yeah.
You can do the one stop, but them tyres are going to go right at the end.
Maybe that is it for Q2. Dutch Nacho unfortunately gets knocked out only by 14 thousandths.
I think for Smithy there.
Manzi. I don't think Smithy is going to be happy with that. Even though we want, I think his mind is in his mind he wanted to start on the softs. Well, that time is not good.
I think if you get the sun relief there, and you just make it through.
Yeah.
But you're looking to redeem it in Q3 to get as hard as you can the race.
Yep. Now that I think he's only got 2 hypers, 2 ultras.
Horn's going to struggle as well. And so it's discreetly using a set of hypers in Q2 is going to affect how many runs you're going to do in Q3. Discreetly he's going to straight away. He's going to be the first one to leave pits again.
Same goes with the teammates of F1 Pal and Cam. Again, anything can happen.
Everyone's got to get themselves focused.
I like the fact that Para's using number 21, which is why I kind of respect him quite highly. Because he uses number 21. Because he uses his number 21, same as me.
Alright.
Yeah, ain't that a coincidence? And no, I'm not going to sue him. Not that daft. Alright, maybe I am. Anyway. So, who do you think will get pole?
They got to be superb, Cam.
Yeah?
And I think one of the Ferraris being in there with him with Lonely Colt in the top 3.
I like the fact that you're saying lonely Colt. It's
Yes.
lovely Colt.
Okay. Yes, it's lovely. Yes.
I just wanted to say that, but
I'll just let you off,
trying
Phil.
to reel myself. I'm just reeling it back until the right moment. Anyway. Looks like the screening is starting us flying that first.
I'm
Very
rolling
close
forward
on the
with
outer
the
wall.
Cam.
So, another bit of an interesting fact about Singapore: it's also one of 5 tracks that has the circuit anti-clockwise.
It does. Such a long track as well. Drivers got to keep themselves focused every corner. It's so long.
Yeah.
Time is easy when and lost.
The other tracks that are anti-clockwise are Brazil, Abu Dhabi, Brazil,
Baku.
Abu Dhabi, Baku, yep, and
There's no one, but I can't think of it.
still thinking.
USA? Is that how it was?
Yeah, that's 4. So that's the 5th one.
Spokane across the line. Goes to 1:35.5.
Ooh.
Fastest lap.
1.4 seconds faster. And discreetly. Right, so hang on. Singapore, Abu Dhabi, Brazil, Baku.
Italy.
No.
That is.
Clockwise.
No, it's clockwise. Don't worry.
The one thing that you have to know about a circuit is that if it's clockwise, the first corner is always a right-hander.
Alright.
Whereas anti-clockwise, the first corner will be a left-hander. Oh. No. I was going to say Canada, but no, that's not right. That's clockwise.
It should be that one. I can't think.
Thinking very, very hard.
That's gonna keep bugging you now.
Yeah.
It's lovely Colt. There's only 2 tenths behind Cam. We're 1:35.7, so that's 2 of my top 3 in the predictions.
It's not France. France is clockwise. Weirdly. I think it's normally to find out whether the obviously the
So you got Baku,
Baku,
Singapore,
yeah, turns 1, 2, and 3,
America,
which makes it
so
goes
that's
anti-clockwise.
3.
Kota, yeah, Brazil,
Brazil,
Abu Dhabi.
and Abu Dhabi, 5.
I think that was it. Why was I thinking of another one?
It's not 6, Phil.
Yeah, I think there was another track. Well, I think that was in the other seasons. I think it either Valencia, European Grand Prix circuit, or Turkey.
There will be a sixth, I feel, in 2020.
Oh yeah,
With
Vietnam.
Vietnam.
Yeah, the one that looks like a uterus. Did not hear me say that. Mind you, I can say that because it's a scientific word. Scientific word you can actually allowed to say.
But everyone's going to hear you. It's on stream.
Say the same. So about 4 minutes to go of Q3. Superb Cam takes the pole spot ahead of Lovely Colt by 2/10, with Chill being 1.1 seconds between him and first. Discreetly being 3.5 tenths off of the Williams driver, with Top Gooner following suit behind Discreetly.
Smithy's off
Only
pace again.
half a hundredth.
You just wonder if Smithy's got
Smithy.
a problem with the car or something.
Yeah. A bit odd.
As Para is now under the stadium section. Couple corners to go. It's the apex. Side's not very close to the wall. Last 2 corners, swoops the car in. What's the line? 135.9.
135.9.
Top 3 predict. Here we go, lads.
Which now drops Chill to P4 and is now stuck in a Ferrari sandwich. With Parrot and discreetly being the panini bread. With Parrot and discreetly being the panini bread, and then Chill being the English cheese.
Well,
sorry,
discreetly is stuck in a Williams sandwich.
That was a slight. Oh yeah, discreetly is in the Williams sandwich. Yeah, I forgot to mention about that. Meanwhile, Top Gooner gliding his way through the second sector. And now going to be starting on the third sector. It's a very, very neat, a good, strong, neat line there.
Superb Cam is flying again. He just matched his first sector.
Meanwhile, Top Gooner now bests his teammate by 300ths of a 1:36.599.
And also, F1 Powers jumped discreetly as well. So the Ferrari's shot to 7th.
Discreetly is going to be starting his one and only flying lap. 45 seconds left of the session.
So Cam's backed off. He's going to go again.
He has enough time. Which he does look like, though. He's got a little bit more time. All is left the session.
It's very unfortunate.
Get back quick. Get back quick. I'm back immediately.
I have.
There we go.
So the question is, can lovely Colt, in the extra time we need to jump camp and start on pole?
Meanwhile, Chill's now coming up onto the last part of his lap with Smithy's now jumped discreetly. And now Chill has gone straight into the pits. Meanwhile, discreetly is going to be finishing on his flying
A
lap.
lovely Colt has backed out.
Maximum attack. Jumps up to P4.
Everyone's
It's a Ferrari.
no one's on a good lap.
count.
Superb cam has got pole. Everyone's backed out the laps.
Oh, from lovely Colt.
Lovely Colt is still going.
There's a 1:35.3.
That's a very good lap. Tremendous lap for lovely Colt.
Yeah.
He's been looking strong all week.
And
The practice
Powell
yesterday.
has now entered into the pits.
I don't think Cam will be
Whereas
happy. He's
Horn
about to get another lap away.
is not. It's going to be starting in P10.
So the Ferrari will lock out the second row. Oh, the Williams will lock out the third row.
locking out the third row. Yeah. Very interesting.
That's a very good qualifying session. That's a lovely Colt. Tops it off.
Very good, strong qualifying session. That is indeed.
Now we have a 5-minute break before these lads race out around Singapore circuit.
Singapore, the Marina Bay circuit at Singapore. The break will commence by the time everyone is all ready. And it looks like we'll jump straight into the race, so we don't have the Q3 results. So here we go, we are jumping straight into the race. So Horn, starting from in P10, is on the hypers with Colt. After having a good strong Q3, starts on the softs. Well, he's got four drivers behind him. He's got 4 drivers behind him on the ultras.
If he keeps them behind, the longer he keeps them behind, the benefit is going to help him near the end of the race.
Then we do have another 4 drivers on the soft tyres. Smithy's going to be starting in P8, whereas Chill's going to be starting in P6, just behind of his teammate of Top Gooner, whereas Smithy's teammate Manzi's going to be starting at the back. I'm still waiting to see the rivalry reignite between Chill and Smithy.
Only Powell separates them two, but they're meeting on track.
That is correct.
I think Almanzi will be disappointed. recently he's been having disappointing qualifyings, but
Yeah,
shown a strong race.
I think he's on that curse again. I think. Despite of him having quite an okay race at Monza, I think the curse has just came back to bite him. So who do you think will take the top 3 spots?
I think it's gonna. I think the top 2 are gonna stay where they are if Colt can defend Cam as long as he can. I think them 2 get first and second. And I think it's a battle out of the 2 Ferraris. Possibly.
Yeah?
For the 3rd spot.
So do you think there could, do you think there could possibly be some team orders between the 2 Ferrari drivers?
I think Para's leading it, isn't he? So he might decide just to back off and just let Para race the 2 leaders to try and get as many points. And Discreet just sit there trying to rack up the remaining points for Ferrari. Possibly.
Right.
And make a little shield for Para to stop the Williams getting them. Put pressure on them.
Another good question is if you exclude the top 5, who do you think will be the one to watch?
Probably one of the soft runners, to be honest. Chill Smithy. If they can keep it together and keep it clean, they're on the ultras at the end, which then they can push the people that are on softs, which are degrading pretty quick the last 5 to 6 laps, and you can just put pressure on them and overtake them, gain as many spots as they can get on the ultras.
I think for me, I'd say Kosher. I think Kosher could be the one to watch. From having a good, strong performance at Monza, I think he could possibly continue with that performance last week to this week. I think.
I do think Horn might struggle on them hybrids though. It'd be in that one.
Especially that they are 2 laps old. So we are about 25 seconds left of the session.
Just waiting for Smithy to give the thumbs
Start.
up.
Yep.
Did you know all the stewards look identical? Like all the Lost Long Brothers.
Yeah, they look like the androids, aren't they?
Just see these stewards just popping their heads down in the pit lane, see there's any action coming. Like, they pop theirs back as there's
No, I
nothing
think he's
there.
popping his head up. He's popping his head onto the track to see if the 2 Ferraris are going to crash again. Besides, you know what they're like.
And little bubble hats.
Yeah.
Like it's winter.
Well, I'm pretty sure that they're going to be super, super warm. Because Singapore has, I think, one of the highest humidities in Asia. Apart from Malaysia.
Such a long race as well. Always breaks the 2-hour barrier in a real life race. Except from this year. First time they did it.
Yeah. We're now on to the formation lap.
Everyone gets off the line. Still ready. This is crucial now for lovely Colt to get these tyres up to temperature, as he's got the up to fifth place, all on the ultras, which will warm up very quick.
Yep. They'll warm up a lot more quicker than the soft tyre runners.
Superb cam. The Blanco. Oh, he's into sixth.
So either that or he's
He's flying at the start there on these Ibis, I say. Mad
Obvious though is that he might have a puncture.
Probably. Be good to see if you can see how much their tyre wear's like. I'd love to know what Colin's tyre wear's on.
True. Oh,
Chill.
Powell had a bit of a commotion.
Little tangle.
As the rest of the grid is now forming up. So that does mean that everyone will now be ready to start the GP2 of Singapore. So I'll be handing over to Brandon to do the honours.
So lights are up. 5 lights. And away we go. And lovely Colt's got a drive through.
All of the Colts jump started.
And both of the Ferraris.
Super Cam's got off to a woeful start.
Oh, it's contact. It's discreetly. He's in the wall. He's wedged into the wall.
No idea what happened there.
Brilliant start from Top Gear. He's into second, but he will be into first when lovely Colt decides to pit for his drive-through.
Oh, there was a bit of some free wide action at turn 5. And
It's a very good start from Top Guinness. Second, starting from 5th.
Cam is desynced. He's desyncing quite a lot, which is going to be a huge problem for Cam from starting in second. Meanwhile, Paraquix has stayed into third. They're going to go around the inside of Top Gunner on the Anderson Bridge hairpin.
Chills had a bad start as well. Dropped down to 10th. While Smithy has gone up to 4th. Dramas has happened in the first lap, first corner.
And that contact with Cameron discreetly at turn 3, that was almost like a real life incident between Sergio Perez and Esteban Ocon. Oh, Chill getting some oversteer. I mean, Dutch Natcher's got some oversteer.
You can see the blisters already starting for Horn on the Hypers.
Starting to kick in now. Tyre degraded. Meanwhile, Paraquix is actually closing the gap onto Top Gunner.
Top Gunner is gaining on lovely Colt, who's got a pit though.
He has to make a pit stop. If he does not make a pit stop, he will be disqualified. So he tries to serve his drive-through penalty.
Just gonna send him almost. Probably behind discreetly.
Meanwhile, F1 Powell is closing the gap onto Smithy. Closing that gap super quickly. It doesn't look like he gets the traction. And Smithy, though.
He's finding it hard to get past lovely Colt. He's pushing Parrot so close to him in his rear. But really struggling. Make a way past lovely Colt.
Oh, top girder. The
Lost it.
oversteer.
Parrot takes provision first. As lovely Colt decides to go in now.
Now Colt
Parrot's
goes into
in.
the pits to serve his drive-through penalty. Parrot get the fastest lap at the moment.
Smithy's been promoted into
And Horner's now
find
entered
the
into the
podium.
pits. With DRS being enabled.
I think Smithy will be happy the race ends now.
Yeah.
This can go
Cam gets the
fastest.
fastest lap. 1:41.5. Meanwhile, Powell has initiated
So lovely
DRS and
Colt
closing
has
onto
just come ahead
Smithy.
of Cam.
Just too late. Meanwhile, Dutch Nacho is thinking of going onto the inside off of Chill at turn 5 and makes it stick, even though Dutch Nacho had a slightly bit of tailwind on the exit on turn 5. And then Dutch Nacho defends Chill very well on turn 6.
And so far, Powell is looking at Smithy and goes very wide. He's just going to put closer, make it into a three-way battle.
Battle for the top 3 spot.
Old top Guna is behind the pressure on Power Quicks. It's only half a second. Oh, Smithy's hit the wall. He's struggling on the options. Clips the wall.
Soft.
And so,
Soft.
yeah, it's an iBoost.
Not soft.
Is it? Mine is an iBoost somehow.
Fire glitch. So if it's
Oh.
on
Yeah, soft, yeah.
soft, you see things.
He's
See a
struggling.
doctor.
Howard's putting so much pressure on him. Smithy goes almost to the wall again.
Meanwhile, Chill still
Howard
at
needs
the
a
back
good
of
exit.
Dutch. With Cam has now gone into the pits.
Powell decides not to use DRS. Goes down the inside. Smithy is around the
Now
outside.
on.
Keeps it there. Smithy
Super Cam is now on
keeps
the soft
his
tyres
foot
after 4
on the
laps.
spot. Crucially, Power has got over that 1 second barrier. Is 1.7 seconds ahead of Top Gear. Powell is getting very close to
still
that
trying to
end.
close the gap. Powell's still trying to close the gap onto Smithy, but the traction that Powell's getting is putting Kosher even closer to the back of the Force Indy's gearbox.
Powell's got to watch out. He's trying to go for Smithy. He's got to watch out. Kosher makes one mistake. Kosher's there to pounce on it.
And then there to pounce as hard as possible.
I think Smithy's just struggling on the traction.
Para now
exit
goes
will-
into the pits after lap 5.
Going on to a set of subs.
Meanwhile, Pal wasn't thinking of going for a movement. Nobody home.
This is crucial. It needs a good exit at turn 5.
Colt is going down the inside of it discreetly onto turn 1 and makes it stick and also jumps Para.
Who's now exiting the pits. Here comes Powell. Starts not to make the move, so he sits behind Smithy again. Looks like it'll be another whole lap he's got to sit behind him. As he always let on the brakes and hit Smithy at the rear. Lucky he hasn't lost any front wing.
No, it doesn't look like he's got any contacts.
Very lucky there from Powell, he hasn't got no front wing damage.
Coach, 3 second time penalty.
Might be game change at the end of the race.
Could be a game breaker for AMG Kosher as well. If he stays in the same position that he is now. It's not only that, Manzi is now starting to enter the fray. So goes with Dutch and Chill.
The old man's pushing while these three keep battling. It might be a four-way spot for the podium. Last step on the podium. It's all welcome the Smithy train.
AMG Kosher is actually starting to struggle a little bit. We're getting a little bit of oversteer.
There's Power very close.
Meanwhile, Powell is actually planning on going for a move. Going too wide, coming up onto turn 1.
Smithy concedes.
Makes a stick, pulls and Chill, gets a 5-second stop. Go!
Oh.
After lap 6. And now Discreetly has entered into the pits. Meanwhile, Smithy utilising DRS. As Powell fends super well.
As Powell goes very defensive, making it hard for Smithy to make the move.
Not only that, by the looks of it, he's backing Smithy to Kosher.
And also, old man's he's gained half a second. That last sector.
It's also the same with Dutch as well.
Lovely Colt. Like, ways his pace again. Only 5 seconds. The longer he battles, he's going to rapidly come down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might play a part. People struggling. Well, top
So
Gunner,
Kosher
he's off.
Kosher is currently in a Renault sandwich, whereas Manzi is in a McLaren sandwich.
Kosher's starting to drop off Smithy now.
And we've also
Just
got
over that
Superb Cam now caught up to Discreetly. Despite both of them taking some contact at turn 3 at lap 1. Discreetly, by the looks of it, has just made a slight error. He's going to be on the back foot.
That's actually very wide. Loses a couple of temps off old Manzi. It's lovely Colt. It's now down to 4 seconds. Gap is rapidly coming down. It's probably going up to 3 second time. So
3 second time penalty. But it looks like he's going to try and get the move over and done with onto Discreetly as he now goes on the outside, going too wide. And Superb
he gets
makes
super
a
done.
stick. Meanwhile, AMG Kosher is closing onto Smithy, whereas Smith is actually lacking behind off of F1 Powell.
Struggling.
Discreetly has actually jumped back ahead off of Cam.
His coach is now putting the pressure on Smithy. He hesitates getting into the last couple of corners. He's lost 2.5 temps.
Oh, Dutch with the understeer on that last corner.
This is big now. Smithy will not get DRS the first time. Kosher will. He's going to get ever closer. Number 4 doesn't make the move, just sits behind Smithy.
Here we see the aerial shot of McLaren and Renault. They're super close together. Meanwhile, Cam has actually gone into the pits.
After 4 laps,
Cam,
and he's retired.
and he's retired. So
Very
we're having a very
unfortunate.
good strong race, and then a horrific start after getting bogged down. Just looks like he's had a woeful session this weekend.
Coach is only 3 to 1 Smithy, so the battle for the third spot is still on. Smithy is struggling to find the traction,
Still
making it hard
lingering.
for Kosher to get past.
Meanwhile, Top Gooner, who's still on the ultra soft tyres.
Oh, and Kosher's lost the rear end, almost into the wall. Well held.
Lost him a little bit of time though. Meanwhile, Dutch Nacho has actually closed the gap onto Manzi. He's utilising the DRS a little bit. As F1 Power gets a
3 second time
penalty.
for Powell.
We're now on to lap 9.
Kosher has got that gap up to Smithy instantly. So Smithy looks like he is struggling.
Yeah, it does actually look like Smithy is lacking the pace that he had at Q2. And it looks like it continued again at Q3. But he must be catching his lucky stars that now we have a 5-way battle for third. And not only that, Paraquix is also catching up as well, so it's going to be a 6-way battle. Meanwhile, Top Gooner is still staying out.
I think the one to watch is Power and Chill. So when all the Powell to lovely Colt, when they all hit,
Oh, it looks like
Chill,
Colt.
and
he's getting closer to Dutch.
Power's gonna jump him.
Meanwhile, MG Coach is actually closing the gap onto Smithy even more. That means he's closer and going to be utilising the slipstream. Smithy's going to be a little bit of a sitting duck. But was defending well. Meanwhile, Dutch Nacho is trying to is fending off of Colt. Meanwhile, Colt has gone for a sneaky little switchback. And now on to turn 6. And it looks like Dutch has gone for front wing damage and just squeezed Para.
Power's still not giving up.
And now has to sit back off of Dutch now. Meanwhile, AMG Kosher is still behind Smithy, whereas Manzi's actually now closed the gap to less than a second. Meanwhile, Colt is actually less than half a second off of the other Renault driver. Paraquix is still planning a way to overtake on Dutch after a very good strong move from Colt around the outside of Dutch at turn 6. Now that Top Gooner has gone straight into the pits. That does mean that Top Gunner could be on a good advantage. Meanwhile, Paraquix is going down the inside off of Dutch Nacho and makes it stick onto turn 1 and then defends perfectly for turns 2 and 3.
Goshen's still behind Smithy. She still can't get past him. It's like a train.
There's a yellow flag on the first sector and it's Dutch.
Had you done that? Oh, beginning the...
Turn 4.
I think Kosher's Kosher, lovely Colt. His lovely Colt is gained in 5 seconds. All the way into this battle. He must be licking his lips.
Thing is though is that the top 5 are yet to make a pit stop. Hal, Smithy, Kosher, Colt and Manzi are yet to make a pit stop.
I'll tell you
has
what,
already
Harry
pitted.
Quicks, he can get to the end of the rest of these sectors.
It's the same with Top Gunner as well. Top Gunner is going to be going all the way to the end.
Even though Harry Quicks has done 6 laps already on the soft tyres, he can get to the end. The old Manzi's holding up is going to help Top Gunner gain them so much. Smithy's got a massive train behind him.
The Superb Cam has left the session from that unfortunate scenario from him. It's also the same with Dutch as well.
Smithy's doing very well
Kosher's-
to keep these behind. Very well.
Kosher's still trying to find a way to overtake. Meanwhile, Paraquix is going to be going for the move off of Manzi, going onto the inside line. Coming up onto turn 5. Brakes perfectly. But it looks like Manzi's got the better traction and better run onto turn 6. But Paraquix defended perfectly onto that corner as well.
It's lovely Colt. Someone going side by side with Kosher. And he lets him through. So lovely Colt is going to go at Smithy. As Kosher can't get past him, it's now lovely Colt's turn.
Very, very tight squeeze. Oh, Colt hits the inner barrier of the hairpin on the Anderson Bridge. Meanwhile, Top Goon has now dropped the gap off of Manzi to 9.5
Colt's
seconds.
got
As lovely
3
Colt gets a 3-second time penalty.
It's the wall. Lances the wall. No damage though. Continues.
Loses the ball ever so slightly.
It's a full-way
Chilling now gets a
battle
3-second
third.
time penalty. Meanwhile, lovely Colt getting the dirty air off of Smithy.
Lovely Colt's got to look at Smithy down into turn 6. Possibly.
Turn 6 or turn 5. Meanwhile, Kosher is actually being
Turn
very
5,
conservative on
then
his
turn 6.
on his ERS. Meanwhile, Paraquix is actually oh, he was thinking of going onto the inside, onto the outside line off of Kosher, and he's still trying to go for it, but nowhere to be found.
Smithy just defends Colt again. He survives another lap probably. And we're down to the turn 5 and 6 again. Smithy's doing very good defending these 2 drivers off. The more laps to do, the more annoyed they will be getting. Once
Also
they
more
get
frustrated
past
they'll get.
Smithy. Colt's probably thinking when I get past Smithy, he'll just go.
Well, in the past few seasons, Smithy has become an immovable wall. When someone is trying to go for a move onto him. most people say that Smithy is basically has the widest car on the way that he defends. He also defends it as fair as possible. And while Colt's getting a little bit of oversteer and a slight tax
Yeah, it's
slapper.
playing a massive part.
Colt's now starting to get a little bit frustrated as he closes the gap onto Smithy even more.
Parrot is right behind Kosher. You move side by side, and he just breezes past him. And Kosher, all you do is
Makes it stick. Meanwhile, Lovely Colt is going side by side with Smithy onto turn 5. Now Lovely Colt's going on to the outside on turn 6.
Slight contact.
Perfectly in
very
those two
good
corners. And now losing another position with Paraquix. He's now entering the fray.
The more that Parrot is stuck behind these Smithy and Cole, it is playing a massive part for Top Gunner, who's got clean air.
And it looks like Colt's going to be trying to go for the outside onto this corner. Oh, he turns these super sharp. I think by the looks of it, he overturned the car too much. And now he's going to be thinking of losing another position with Paraquix going onto the inside line. Now onto the outside. Both of them giving each other some
Power
room
backs
as
off,
possible.
very smart from Power.
Now Manzi's now coming back onto the charge for second place.
Top Gunner is rapidly coming up behind on Manzi, so it'll be another person added on the Smithy train. Everyone wants to ride on board this train.
Well, but it looks like Lovely Colt's going to try and make the move over
Smithy,
and done with now
side
onto
by
turn
side.
1. And
Gets
has
the
now
move
made
done.
it stick. But has the damage have been done though?
It's Parrot will be now
Oh,
looking
Colt.
at Smithy, but they're both have DRS. The lovely Colt
What is
have
it?
nothing.
Para's not reserving his ERS at all. MG Kosher's actually being the most conservative with the ERS.
Well, Smithy's
With-
got a lot as well, with 80%.
With Para being the least conservative on his ERS.
Kosher's got to think about the more he's going to not use his DRS, the more power he's not using. He's losing more time and thinking he might be saving it. But we do not want to go to 100%.
So we are approaching the halfway mark. So far, F1 Pal is currently ahead of Lovely Colt, only 8.3 seconds behind between the two of them. Smithy in third, Para fourth, Kosher fifth, Manzi sixth, Top Gunner seventh, Chill eighth, Screeny ninth, Horn 10th, with the two retirements of Dutch Nacho and Cam.
And the people that have stopped are Paraquix, and then 7th to 10th have all stopped. The rest will need to still need
Horn
to stop.
making an additional pit stop. Now Paraquix is actually going for a charge off Smithy onto turn 1.
Tremendous traction down the inside and gets the job done.
And now Top Gunner.
Para's got to think now he needs to get away as quick as he can away from Top Gunner.
Which, by the looks of
battling
it, he is on the softs. So there is a tyre glitch, as it doesn't look like. But Top Gunner is on the ultras and is thinking of going for the move onto Manzi onto turn 5. Bit firm and fair. Top Gunner lets Manzi through.
So who's going to react first into the pits?
Who's going to pull the trigger?
It's Smithy or will it be Kosher? Both determined to keep the lead of each other.
Let's not forget, Manzi is only 3
Kosher's had
seconds
a brilliant
behind.
exit out of the airpin, almost side by side, but Smithy will have the inside line going into the corner. Keeps keep the spot. What Top Gooners making the
This Top
move.
Gooner
around
goes,
Little Mandy.
made the move. Manzi. Very good move from Top Gooner there.
So it's two
Now
cars
Top Gooners-
separating the two
Now Top
leaders.
Gooner's on the back foot as well, with having low ERS. Well, Smith is definitely struggling on the soft tyres. Whereas Kosher gets
Lands
a little bit of
second time
again
penalty.
with a tank slapper.
As Kosher is still stuck behind Smith, he just can't get all the way past him.
Still can't find the room and the space.
He's got a very good run on him now.
As Kosher's
Goes
now
back
using the
inside.
ERS. Going on the inside, doing too wide.
Smithy, he likes that outside line.
Smithy
He keeps using it. It keeps
defends
working for
super
him.
well.
So this is the battle on the track currently, as all the gaps are now starting to form. All the pit stops will start to happen.
Yep.
So it's a three-way battle for fourth spot as Smithy, Kosher and Top Gooner. Top Gooner has pitted, so he will take fourth spot when these two do pit.
Meanwhile, Paraquix is actually gaining on a lovely Colt now. Less than a second separated between the two. Meanwhile, Top Gooner's now joined the party train. As Angie
It's
Kosher
Kosher.
almost loses it.
So there's a couple of laps away from Kosher and Smithy's pit window.
That's the same with lovely Colt and Pal. As we're now on to lap 18 of 31.
I think Smith will be loving this race, no matter battles. Not battles, the family he's got to be doing this whole race.
Oh, looks like Kosher's going to be going for the move, and look at the speed Kosher's getting. Still goes side by side onto turn 5.
Once he's like this outside line, goes then inside. I think Kosher's done it this time. He's finally
I
made the
think
move. on
Kosher's
Smithy.
done it. Kosher's done it.
He's lost the rear end. Smithy's going to have a good exit. Is he going to fight him back? He doesn't. Kosher be a very relieved man. And that had tips he's tried to get past Smithy, and now it's finally worked. Smithy's tyres got a massive blister on it.
So that's the same with lovely Colt as well. You can see the blistering on Colt's front right, and also you can see the slight degrading on his front left. Meanwhile, Paraquix, his tyres are degrading not as much, despite pitting at lap 4.
So how makes he very last corners and starts lap 19 out of 31. Lovely Colt is now 3.9 seconds behind. He is rapidly catching that power. Power Quicks is less than 3 tenths away behind Lovely Colt.
Old Bands has now pulled the trigger. Now entered into the pits. Meanwhile, Paraquix has got the traction.
Yeah,
That was
DRS.
turn 4. Oh, but it looks like Colt has made his car super wide and made
Power Quick,
slow down a little bit.
Power and Lovely Colt's gone a bit deep.
Oh, there's been some slight contact on the side pod, but no more existential damage between the two drivers. And now Lovely Colt's in a spot of bother.
And here comes Top Gooner. He'll make a move.
He gets another 3-second time
Smithy.
penalty. Well, Top Gooner Oh, very well. Staying behind Smithy. He is going all the way to the end.
That's going to affect him long term. Those Parrot is getting away as quick as he can. As he was back on the top runner before the pits.
Yeah.
And after the pits, traffic has cost top gunner. As he had 6 laps fresher tyres than Parrot and decided to pit.
Colt's now pulled the trigger and gone straight into the pits.
So that means Parrot will jump up to P2.
Now Kosher, Smithy has now gone in, which means Top Goon has got some breathing room. But
the damage might have already been done. Yeah, it will have 6 laps fresher tyres compared to Parrot.
But Colt is now coming out of the pit lane on the Ultras.
So he's going to the end.
It's the same with Smithy and Kosher. They are now also on the Ultras as well.
It's discreetly. Smithy come to head with discreetly. But old Manzi
That means
right
Pal
discreetly.
is still yet to make a pit stop.
Old Manzi on the fresh set of Ultras, trying to make him move from discreetly. Looks down the side of old Manzi.
Made it work.
Move done. Very good move from old Manzi. Not many people makes the move down the side. Nor it favours the outside person. Old Manzi's got it done.
Yeah, that's true.
P8.
Oh hey, Paraquix is now gaining on Pal. 4 laps younger tyres. There's a 4-lap age difference. Now
Pal
Pal
goes in.
has pulled the trigger. So that means there is a possibility. This lovely Colt is now coming up to the grandstand section, where he can now absolutely ring it with 10 laps to go. Pal has now gone out of his pit box. As lovely Colt's now going up onto the last 2 corners.
Chill jumps him.
And it looks like
It's going to favour the person on the track. He's the quicker line, and
Colt
lovely
has
Colt's
jumped him.
he's done a remarkably well, lovely Colt. And that
Oh, Manzi gets the fastest lap.
jump start,
141.2.
lovely Colt. He's on the charge. On the ultra softs against all of the top 3 that are on soft, but very worn softs as well.
Yeah.
So the gaps in those
Problem is though is that Colt has got 2 time penalties. He has got 2 time penalties.
He's rapidly closing that gap into Chill. Gained a second
As
at
you
the
can
first
see
sector.
Chill on the horizon.
Almost taken another second in the second sector. He's rapidly closing Chill. Chill's getting a bit hesitant on the corners now. Lovely Colt. It's just
Oh,
He's in the
Kosher gets
corner
another
through.
3-second time penalty.
there's now Colts and Derristone and Chill.
Now Chill
Inside
has
the
pulled
pit.
the trigger.
Maybe he could think
Colt gets
Stoss
fastest
can
lap
make
with
it.
138.4. Problem is though, is that Colt has only got 0.3 laps over with 9 laps to go.
Smithy is half a second behind Kosher and the DRS zone. We look and make a move. on his famous outside. Doesn't, looks down the
I
inside.
think they're going on the inside. But no,
He should defend very well.
way too far back. Top Gun has actually lost 3.5 tenths off of Para as Colt goes super close to the safety barrier.
Lovely Colt. Still decreased that gap between him and Top Gunner.
Meanwhile, F1 Pal.
So Top Gunner might be in the firing line soon. The amount of ultra suffering is already fresh who's behind him.
Yeah.
Maybe count these laps down every time he crosses this line.
I think driver of the day is going to be quite tough.
A lot of contenders.
Well, I'm counting
There's two.
3.
There's two outstanding ones from me.
Alright then, 4. Four people that I've got in my mind is Paraquix, Top Gunner, Lovely Colt, and say Smithy.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking Lovely Colt or Smithy. That's my stand-up too. It's Lovely Colt and that jump start.
Lovely Colt
he's
is
challenging
obviously
for
the
the
recovery
second,
drive.
And Smithy for the battle.
Lovely Colt's the recovery drive, whereas Smithy is the consistent, the constant battling. Top Gunner is the same with Smithy. Whilst Paraquix, I think he was one of many that pitted super early.
Lovely
at first
Colt.
glance.
In 2 seconds now. And rapidly coming down again. Almost 1.5 seconds.
So at first
You
glance.
can see Top Gunner.
So at first glance, I'll give it to Top Gunner, but not sure.
Top Gunner might be struggling on the soft as Lovely Colt smashes the wall.
Raises it.
Doesn't get any damage, you can see on his car. He might have got away with it.
He's getting some understeer now.
Pushing the car to the very limit.
Yeah. Shell overtakes discreetly.
I think Harris is having some good drive now. 8 laps to go.
Look on the battle.
12
Look on the
seconds.
battle up discreetly. And Chill. Chill has defended very well onto discreetly. Meanwhile, Lovely Colts has now dropped the gap of Top Gunner to 1.7 seconds, now 1.5. Oh, but it does look like that the tyre carcass on the Ultras are now starting to kick in off of Colt.
The gap is still coming down very slightly now.
As Top Gunner is now closing onto the back marker of Horn.
Just slides.
Now let in Top Gunner and Colt through. Very, very respectful from him.
As he'll be letting also from Powell to the start very soon. lovely Colt is pushing these tyres to the very limit. He still
Trying to
has that
push him as hard as possible without
6-second
getting
penalty.
understeer. Yeah.
But as things stand, lovely Colt will remain in third spot at the minute.
Yep.
As F1 Power do have a 3-second time penalty.
Ooh.
He's only got a 3-second disadvantage compared to Power.
We're now on to lap 26 of 31. And it does actually look like that lovely Colt might not be able to catch up to Para. So it does look like that deed might have been done. So it does look like that the drive-through
That's cost him.
has costed him. Has he now been thinking of going for the move off the top Gouda? Will go super narrow.
I think a drive-through is like 17, 18 seconds.
No,
Was it more?
less.
I thought it was more. I think the pit stop's like 20, 122 in there. During the stationary for.
I think it's like
It's gotta be quicker
close
than
to
that.
like 18.5 to 19.5.
Oh, I'm sure it's longer than that. But yeah, I
Oh,
think the
Jill's
stationary
overtook
for 5 seconds.
was it just overtook Manzi? Now he's got to try and find once he gets a 3-second time penalty.
Which could play a part at the end of the race. Power across the line. 5 laps remaining.
4 laps to go. I think Top Gouda got a 3-second time penalty, if I'm right. Meanwhile, look at Colt is struggling to keep up with Top Gouda now. Meanwhile, Paraquix is still in front. Just biding his time. Doesn't need to push as much after he's got an 11.1 second gap.
I think he'll be in cruise control.
Oh, it looks like Colt's got another penalty.
That might be the
And that's
nail
the
in the
sealer.
coffin.
That's the nail in the coffin, that is. That
That's
could
9
have lost him.
seconds.
That could have lost him third now. Lovely Colt now needs to get his head down.
He needs to
and
gain
increase that gap.
6 seconds on Powell.
Needs to get 1.2 seconds.
And it's not going to help his chances staying behind Top Gear. So we need to make this move ASAP.
Let's try and make this move as soon as possible, otherwise it will be game over. Para now starts lap 28 of 31. 3 laps to go. Very, very close to hitting the back end of Top Gouda's Williams. Cole. Now he's
They
even
make the
more
move.
closer to Top Gouda, so now he's going to try and go for the move. There's Top Gooner.
Oh, he's hit the wall.
There's been... He's hit the wall.
No damage though. He's got away with it again. Until Rush has been indestructible.
He has luckily got away with it. Meanwhile, Paraquix...
This is big now. Lenny Colt needs to gain 1.1 seconds over Powell.
It looks like Pal is closing onto Top Gooner now. Meanwhile, Top Gooner is actually sticking behind of Colt. So it does look like that Colt, despite him being behind Top Gooner, it's costing him now after getting understeer off of that corner.
It's going to be very tight between Colt and Powell when they come to pass the checkered flag. As it's hovering around the 4.8 second gap between the two.
So we're now on to lap 29 of 31. Top Gooner is getting closer and closer onto lovely Colt. Meanwhile, Chill is now less than a second off of Smithy for the battle for 6th. Oh, but it looks like Colt has had a woeful exit. Ooh!
Lovely Colt's hit the wall.
He's hit the wall.
Oh,
And
that's
he's
a
super
very...
close to the...
That's a very... They need to keep their eyes open because that is a very dangerous spot. He's hit the... He crushed it there.
Check into something.
That promotes everyone at one position. F1 Powell will take the final podium spot as
place.
things stand.
Not sure that there was actually any contact between Top Gooner and Colt. I think
It's
due to
Chill
the
and
fact that
Smithy are side by side. The rivalry's on the last couple of laps.
the rivalry's now officially been reignited. Now going on to the start of the 3rd sector. Chill sticking
Smith going on the outside.
round the outside of Smithy. Smithy's now
That's very
destined
good.
to
He
try and
backs
go.
off.
Yeah, backs off. A very good strong move from Chill there.
But Smith
now
will have
Parrot.
the upper hand on penalties wise though.
As Parra now starts lap 30 of 31 on the second to last lap. While Smith is actually...
Over Chill. He's very close to this rear end.
Well, we had to slow right down.
It's discreetly he's looking for a move on old Manzi as well. So one runner is giving pressure, one's receiving pressure.
Can't two things, but okay. So I can't help myself.
We know the... We know.
Oh, it's embarrassing, isn't it? Oh, I don't care.
Discreetly
Goes side by side, go 2 wide off of Manzi.
That's
And makes it
what he
stick just before turn 5.
He gets a 3-second time.
Gets a 3-second time. Oh dear.
That's not good. Parrot.
Driver again. I think I might
It's
possibly
not-
give it
it's
to
not-
Pal. I think.
Yeah, I've never really seen him in
Either
race
Pal or
much.
Kosher. No. Top Gooner. I'm giving it to Top
Yeah.
Gooner.
I was looking at Top Gear. Very well.
He's been very. He had an average qualifying and then being very consistent. especially through traffic.
And he also had that amazing start, gaining like 3 positions at the start. He was
Yeah.
second.
So an average qualifier from Top Gunner, then a strong start of the race.
And then he just kept it consistent.
And he kept the performance through thick and thin. Top
That's a 3-second time
penalty. I think that's another one.
I think that's 6 in total for him.
Meanwhile, Paraquicks
I think Powell's got 3.
From having a woeful Italy race,
He's redeemed it.
he has redeemed it at Singapore. As it now goes out of the grandstand section onto the last 4 corners.
And he pitted
From
really
letting the
early.
Tifosi down, at Monza, he is going to be crossing the line to win the Singapore Grand Prix.
Brilliant drive from Paraquicks.
Fantastic drive from Paraquicks there.
Last corner. Gets second. F1 Powell
Takes
crosses the
second
line.
place.
Gets third.
Powell takes third. Well, Kosher
Get fourth.
take 4th place.
Smithy's dropped a lot of time behind Shane. Smithy's been struggling a lot of this whole race and qualifying.
Yeah. Chill takes
Will he
5th.
jump him now? Will Smithy jump Chill? He does.
He does.
With 2/10 of a second.
And then Manzi will cross the line in 8th.
We'll get the results and invite the top 3 in.
Yep. Unfortunately, we do not have the Q3 results, which does mean that.
I'll
But as long as
screenshot them.
Anyway, that is it. Paraquicks getting no penalties. And same as with Smithy as well. So Paraquicks bounces back from poor race at Monza to get the win here at Singapore with Top Gunner. Secured a very strong position for Williams from starting 5th and on to 2nd. F1 Pal from starting having his debut on his actual GP2 debut in Monza and takes 3rd place at Singapore. AMG Kosher secures 4th after starting in 9th, very close to getting knocked out. With Smithy in 5th from starting in P8, Chilwell 6th, discreetly 7th, Manzi 8th, Horn 9th with the retirements. Very unfortunate from Ludwig Colt from going side by side for Top Gunner on the exit of turn 4. Dutch Nacho had again been very unlucky at the same corner with where Lovely Colt had a terrible exit at turn 4, and then Cam, I think, he's just had a massive letdown.
It's just
Very
from
poor
the
weekend
lights went out.
from Force India. Yeah. But anyway, we do have the top 3 podium sitters for Singapore, so make sure you tick the box, guys. I will start off the interview with Paraquicks. A commendable drive from you there, Para, and also a very good bounce back from last week at Monza. I bet you must be feeling super happy with that performance. And also for taking the softs the longest, if I'm right.
Yep, thank you. Yeah, I'm very happy after last week. I enjoyed this race. It was a very fun race. And yeah, so my quali went pretty bad. I only had 1 run in Q3. missed my first run. It was invalidated, so I only had one go. P3, I was quite happy, so I got a good start. And then yeah, in the race, I had to get rid of the ultras after lap 4. And they were just awful. So, and I knew they were going to be awful in the race, so I just wanted to get rid of them quick and get on the softs. And I knew they
Yeah, 'cause we
lasted
did.
pretty long.
Yeah. Yeah, we did notice that you were struggling on the ultras at the opening start of the first stint, despite having a very strong start at the start of the race, whereas Superb Cam has had a woeful start after dropping down 3 places.
Yeah, he had connection issues, so he had to bounce out. But then yeah,
Yeah, it was very, very
when in the
unfortunate from
middle of
Cam
the
there.
race I got caught up into traffic, and then that was awesome. I really enjoyed that part. That was just nice to be in traffic and just fight with people. That was really nice.
Yeah, we expected to see a massive train ensuing on the opening part of the race, and it looks like the train almost kept going all the way to the end.
How many laps did I do on the softs again? I can't really remember.
I think you did
You put on lap
27.
5, didn't you?
27. Yeah, it shows you can like complete the race with
I think I did
the soft tire.
8 yesterday, so it was doable.
Yeah.
But anyway, nonetheless, Para, congratulations on the win at Singapore. I think, Brendan, if you got any other questions on Para, we'll interview for P2.
As Russia is a similar type track to Singapore in lengthwise and the type of corners, what's your plans going into that race?
Well, I don't really think it's a similar track. I just think there's no difficult corners in that, I think. So I think the field is going to be pretty close. Unlike this Singapore, so. But yeah, I'm pretty good around that track, so I'm expecting top 5 at least.
Anyway, nonetheless, congratulations to you, Para, on winning the Singapore Grand Prix, and hoping to continue and strive for that performance here for next week at Russia. I'll hand it over to you, Brandon, to interview second place of Top Gooner.
Yep. So Top Gooner had a decent qualifying, started in 5th, but then we go to that race when you had a brilliant start, jumping up to 2nd. And ever since then, it was just a consistent race for you. Good defending all the way to the end. So how did your race go in your point of view, buddy? You got a mic?
If he's there. I think he has. I don't know. No idea.
No, I'll send him a message. No, he's got a mic. He's got a mic. Top Gooner.
Yeah, of course he's got a mic, because we can hear him.
Hello.
Well, his audio's in.
Hello.
Yeah.
Have you got me
There you
now?
go. Yeah.
Yeah, the question.
Yeah, good. Sorry about that. That's an unplug. Yes, well, I wasn't expecting to finish 7th place after qualifying, because there seemed to be some fast times going on in the qualifying. I think it was over a second off pole time. So, I had a good first corner. I don't know who went wide, but I know someone went wide. And yeah, just got into 2nd and just thought I'd better finish. I don't know how it looked on the stream with Colt, but we was side to side and he was just lagging over the place and he just went. So I don't quite know what happened.
I don't think
Was
we
it with Colt?
know
Was it on the
really,
stream?
but yeah, it was actually. I think it was Lowly Cole, because he was catching up to him.
Yeah.
I think it was on turn 4. He had a very poor exit, and he was planning on going side by side. He was going on the right side of Colt because he was defending
Yeah,
on the left
that's right.
side.
And yeah.
It was quite unfortunate of Colt because of that situation, but if we excluded that, it would have been a very good battle coming up onto turn 5 and then also onto turn 6, because it looks like you was going to be onto the outside line onto turn 5, which then causes you to get. That means that you have the advantage onto turn 6 because you'll be on the inside line, which will be the ideal racing line.
Yeah.
But it did appear that you was actually having some. Yeah, you actually had some fun because of the traffic. Because obviously Singapore is such a struggle bus of a circuit to try and go for an overtake.
Especially that Smithy train.
Yeah, it's just a bit
he was
frustrating
holding
being
up
stuck
everyone.
behind that for a little while, but
Well, I did actually
Yeah,
say
no, it
on
was
the
a
stream
fun
that
race.
Smithy is very hard to try and overtake because he does make his car look wide because he does defend super well and super fair.
yes, yeah, he does defend very well. He is, but yeah, once he pitted, it was quite a clean race after that. Apart from the Colt incident, obviously, but no, it's good. It was fun.
I think one last question is obviously next week is going to be the Russian Grand Prix. We're going to Sochi.
Yeah. Oh, mate,
do you
I missed
think
next
you'll be on-
weekend. I'm on my holidays.
Oh,
Oh, I've
So
got
if you're
2
gonna be missing
weeks.
this
I missed 2
weekend-
races. So
so that means you're going to be coming back in USA.
yes, that's right.
What are your
Give a chance
thoughts
for the
on that
Renaults to
track
catch up.
for COTA,
Yeah, I enjoyed
the
that
circuit
track
of the
last year.
Americans?
Yes,
Yeah?
I did. I enjoyed that. Yeah, so hopefully I should be quick after my Christmas celebrations.
Well,
Pop-
we
party
do wish you the
poppers
very
up.
best of luck, and obviously
Yeah,
because we're
Thank
going
you.
to be missing the 2 races, so we do wish you a very good Christmas and a happy New Year.
And you,
We'll be
mate.
seeing
Thank
you
you.
at the, obviously at USA. But nonetheless, congratulations on you for getting second place at the Singapore Grand Prix. We'll now go cut straight into third, which is F1 PAL, which after 2 races in GP2, obviously because of the problem with I think what happened at Monza, you seem to bounce back and continue with the performance and also the pace that you had at Singapore. So I'm guessing, what were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, thank you. It was a great race. It's probably my favourite race I've ever had with GRL. It's probably one of the fastest actually. Had a moment with Smitty, which was quite good. It was well, overtake was probably my favourite as well. Managed to keep in first for most of the race. I was quite happy with that. I thought I was going to win at some point, then realised the tyres were going off and I had to pit. So had to pit for, I think I went on ultras, yeah, and stayed there and I caught up. And luckily for me, Colt had a bit of an incident and I moved up to third. But I've been told by a little birdie called Horn Dog that I have a 30-second penalty for some stupid incident in Italy. I don't mind it
yeah.
that much.
Yeah, we
Which
do. I
probably
actually kind
puts
of
me in
remembered that.
fourth.
Kind of remembered that in a little bit because it was on the back of my head.
But I think right now
But
it just shows that I do
nonetheless,
have
you
the
got
pace.
you got yourself third place at Singapore, which is obviously the best thing that you've done, and it was also the best performance that you had, especially for GRL. What do you think the future holds for you for coming up to the end of season 3 of GRL? Do you think you might have more potential for next season, season 4, for 2019, or do you think you might be for the same page for this season, or like another stepping stone?
Well, I'm always looking to improve. I'm hoping next season I can be up the front in podium positions. Hopefully this season I can continue this pace, sort of mid-pack with some lucky wins. But right now, it's just all improving, really. Just keep it to improve.
But anyway, yeah. Any other questions, Brandon, for F1 PAL?
No.
No, okay.
No.
But anyway, congratulations to you for obviously for securing third place, but obviously with the penalties that was given, obviously at Monza, because
I'm,
when it happens, it
actually-
happens.
I'm actually lucky to be here because during Q1 I hit the wrong setup. I'm on the wrong setup for the entire race, and you're going to laugh at
dear.
me for this. I actually clicked the Azerbaijan dry setup
Oh God!
Had to go round on the entire race.
How did you
Dear
survive
me.
this, man?
The
Oh
back.
shit.
I don't know. It felt fast for a while, but when the tyres go off, it felt awful. But I managed to survive, so I'm happy with that.
Crikey, Moses.
It was the scariest thing when I realised that I did that, but I'm happy. I'm really happy to be here. But yeah.
But yeah, congratulations though, pal. Congratulations on you getting third place. We will.
Thank you.
We are going to go on to driver of the day, and sadly he isn't obviously here in the interview with us because we have decided to give it to Top Gooner because obviously he had an average qualifying and I think he had the pace. Super consistent, super strong, and even on traffic his pace was consistent and he just pulled off many overtakes and was also in obviously the same train, well kind of the same train as F1 Pal at the start of the race, but has secured himself second place for Williams, which means I think the gap for the constructors has kind of widened a little bit, but not as much, but only a little bit. Just closed the gap ever so slightly, but anyway, nonetheless, congratulations to Top Gooner, obviously to get driver of the day at the Singapore Grand Prix. So that is it for GP2. Obviously, GP1 is tomorrow, Sunday at 8. For obviously around Singapore, which I'm kind of looking forward for. No, I'm not. Meanwhile, for GP2 is yeah. Meanwhile, for GP2 next week is obviously we're going to Russia for the Russian Grand Prix at Sochi at the Sochi Autodrome.
Oh god.
So we'll say stay tuned next week for the GP2, and it's also the same for GP3 and 1.1 for on Friday. Anyway, that has been it for GP2 for round 15. And again, tune in next week for the Russian Grand
Happy
Prix
Christmas,
for round
everyone.
16. Also, yes, we do wish everyone a good Christmas.
And
And
good
a
luck to
happy
GP1.
Is on Tuesday, yeah. Thanks, I do need that. Oh God.
I look forward
yeah,
to watching.
Tune in next week for the Russian Grand Prix. Will Paraquix continue to strive on the performance from the recent race of Singapore, or will Top Gun and Chill try and bounce back and make the constructors even more competitive? Or will Lovely Colt make another upset after having a very unfortunate event for tonight's race? Anyway, this has been it for 17, and I was alongside with Brandon, and we'll be tuning in with you after Christmas for round 16 at Russia.